We all know testimonials and recommendations play a huge part in getting business. Often they decide our next client, even when we're not part of the conversation. My name's Catherine Ferris, and I've been building marketing automation systems since 2009. Today, I want to show you how we manage referrals and recommendations using the reputation management features inside of HighLevel. Within the next few minutes, I want to show you all of the settings and optimization that you have access to around reputation management using HighLevel, as well as how to automate the process, and then finally, how to make sure it's a true system and not just a set it and forget it. Most businesses treat referrals like a random event, but what I'm showing you today will turn it into a repeatable system. Here we are inside of HighLevel, or better yet, our version called Marketex Engine. We are in a demo account, so there's going to be lacking a little bit of information, but I did connect a few things so that I could fully show you this part of the system. When you're in the system here, over on the left-hand menu, you will notice Reputation Management right here. When you come into Reputation Management, you can see we have a lot of options across the top here, and some are brand new, which is pretty exciting. There's actually always new things in HighLevel. It's one of the things I love. So we start out on the Overview tab, and you can see there's Statistics, and there's even Competitor Analysis, which is a brand new feature. You can add up to 3 competitors. Next up, we have Requests. And this is the part people used to build out automations to collect Google reviews just by sending out the Google link in an email, which is effective. It does work. However, there's some new things within the automation system now that allows you to fully utilize the reputation management aspect. And this review request section and the reviews section, this whole piece will become much more usable if you're doing it the right way. You can send reviews right here to specific contacts. You can upload photos. You can send them via email, SMS, or WhatsApp. So you can do one-off requests. When you go into the reviews section, you're going to see any reviews that are listed here. You're also going to be able to add reviews if there's past ones that weren't sent through the system. And you can filter, you can look at everything. There's a spam filter in here as well. One of the brand new features is video testimonials. There's a little bit of configuring that you need to do here to set up your video testimonials. Then there's the video collectors and your responses that will all show on this screen. And video is a huge advantage when you're talking about testimonials, especially now if people are getting concerned about the legitimacy of testimonials. Video might be something you want to look into. Now, as you start collecting testimonials, of course, the thing you want to do is showcase them on your website. And as they're collecting and coming in here, this is automatically going to build a widget, and you're actually able to grab that code and put it on any website. Of course, HighLevel also builds web pages and websites, so you can put it in there as well. Then under the settings, this is where you really build out and configure all the pieces of your reputation management system. This is where you can choose to have AI respond to things. You might put a little delay in here like you see. You can create a campaign around this so that every review gets responded to immediately, and you can build that out with an agent. You can determine your review links. So you could build, and I actually did this with one where we built a custom link, and then we had all the different review options on that custom link so that every time we were requesting a review, it was like, pick the platform that you would like to give us a review on, and they were all listed there. But you can also connect to every platform that you collect reviews on, and you can choose a specific review that you want to focus on, or you can do review balancing where it will automatically balance between the links and give people different links, and you can configure the way that gets balanced. How do you want to focus? 100%. I only have one connected right now, so it's not showing a great example. But how do you want to collect those 50%? Like if you have different businesses or different links in here, or do you want to focus more on one over the other? So that's your review links and deciding where you want to send those out. You can then build out how you want to collect these reviews, how many messages you want to send, and whether you want to send SMS or email messages. And they're both similar in the way that you set them up. But you just decide how often, or is this going to be immediately after an action, wait an hour, custom, etc. Or is it going to be repeated at any point if they don't take action? Is this whole thing one single email, or are you creating multiple retry messages? So you could set it up for a default message, then 2 follow-ups, and you could say repeat every month for a maximum of 2 months until they respond. And so you can see how that all looks. And like I said, you could trigger this manually, or I'm going to show you how to set it up automatically after a certain action happens within the system, because again, we have a full CRM here, and that's part of the benefit of HighLevel. We also have WhatsApp requests, very similar. Then if you are a brick and mortar physical business, you can create a QR code, put it right on the front desk or put it right on the tables in your business, and people can scan that QR code and also get their reviews put in here. I mentioned before, there is a spam detector. You can turn this on or off. It's going to help you detect whether reviews are spam or not. And this is where you integrate with the specific platforms. So you can add custom links, but you'll also notice a lot of the really popular platforms are already in here. I mean, Capterra, Airbnb, Amazon, if you're selling on Amazon, Better Business Bureau, come on. Cars.com, DoorDash, eBay, of course, Google, hotels. So depending on what type of business you are, there are a ton of different options. TripAdvisor already in here for Yellow Pages, Uber Eats, Yelp, Zillow. You can see them all in here in terms of what you might want to connect with to collect your reviews. And then again, you can do that review balancing or create a page, custom link page with all of the review options if you want to present that instead. All right, so those are all of our settings. And then finally, there is, because this is pretty heavily tied into Google, there's a Google Business Profile Optimization page. And I recently connected this and then updated a few things, and you can see how it even gives me this little analysis. The only thing I'm currently missing is the address, because I don't typically put that in, being that I'm a remote business. But you can even get tips on updating your Google business profile. So there you have it. That is the reputation management section and the settings, and basically where you're going to optimize everything. I'm interrupting this video to make sure that there is no confusion about HighLevel or about how to work with me. If you want to try HighLevel but don't want to waste months trying to figure it out, I have 2 very clear options for you to consider. If you're looking to build an agency or a SaaS business, head over to marketex.com/HighLevel. By using our affiliate link, which costs you nothing, you will get the following bonuses. Our Marketex Engine Core Snapshot. This is all of the features that we install in every new Marketex Engine user account, and we're giving it to you for free as an affiliate. Our onboarding guides and access to our private community. An invitation to join our weekly live office hours, where I personally will answer questions and even share tips that I've learned throughout the week. And I'm constantly learning. There is so many new features and things to learn in this industry as a whole, not to mention within the HighLevel platform. Plus, we'll give you our additional templates, checklists, and migration guide. That's option number 1. Option 2 is if you are a business owner just looking to improve your own tech stack and you don't want to do it alone. You would like a trusted strategic partner in your corner that speaks the language, brings you time-tested automations, proven strategies, and up-to-date learning. Then go to marketexengine.com and book a consultation with me to learn more about our high-level agency, Marketex Engine, and joining our ecosystem. I'm also currently offering discounts on one-on-one consulting to any of our affiliates and high-level users. So whether you're building an agency or building a business, pick your path and let's drive results. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. Now let's take a look at the brand new way that you can kick off these review requests. Here in, and actually I'm going to back out 1 second here. I'm going to take you back to the main menu and just make sure you know how to get into automations and workflows. So automation on the left-hand menu here. And if I scroll down in my list, I have review request, or I could have done a search for review request. And I have a very basic automation that I started pretty much for the purposes of this demonstration. So it used to be that you would decide on your trigger, and the triggers could essentially be very similar to what I have here. And then you would put in maybe a weight, and you would send an email or an SMS. You would literally put in an email action or an SMS action with the Google My Business profile link or review link right in that message. And the problem with that was that then in your request, you wouldn't see that you had outstanding requests. And so there was a bit of a gap in information and collecting the information here. So they added a brand new action called send review requests. So now, depending on your business, you kind of have to decide at what point in our system do we want to send a review. One example is maybe somebody submitted a survey at the end of a particular product or after they purchased something or went through a program. Maybe that's a good time to trigger this review process. Or maybe they got moved to a certain stage in a pipeline if you're using the opportunity pipelines. Or maybe it's just triggered by a tag. So at some point in your process, they get a particular tag that says send review request, right? Could be that simple. And that is maybe in the purchase history or in the engagement process. You have a workflow and you know that 6 months after somebody becomes a customer, you want to send a review request. And you use that tag or even just add this action to that existing process. Regardless, you choose how you want to trigger it. Maybe you wait a couple days if this is like right at the end of a process or right after they submitted a survey, you may want to add a wait step. And then there's this very simple review request action. And it is, you can choose an SMS, email, or WhatsApp, and you can choose whether you want to send a special link or actually use the link that you have in your settings. And you save your action, and that is it. That is going to trigger the system to do exactly what you have set up here in your settings. Whatever email request you have set up, it's going to trigger this process when you tell it to send that email. And so now you have a way to track it all within this reputation management. It was already good. Now it's looking pretty great. The reality is too many businesses fail to ask for the review, fail to ask for the testimonial. And it's such a huge mistake that we make. So this whole reputation management process, the automation, the workflow, the tracking mechanisms, the optimization, this is a huge benefit to any business that's currently using HighLevel. If you're not currently using HighLevel or you're curious about it, check the description because I have a consultation link. I'd be happy to explain more about the full system and how it may benefit your business. I also have a link to everything you need to know about whether HighLevel is a good choice for your business or not. Again, if you're not already using it. But if reviews and testimonials are a key factor for you, which I'm guessing they are, then you really need to check this out. HighLevel is a full sales and marketing system that has reputation management built in. You're not paying extra for this. This is connected to all of the other pieces in your system, your CRM, your pipelines, all of your marketing efforts. And it turns reputation management into a real strategy and a real process and not just a hope and pray. I hope you found this useful, insightful, and you'll check out our other videos. Like, subscribe, and comment below if you have any questions. Thanks.